Good morning. Now, the other day I ran a poll on the YouTube community section about what should I use this weekend, and overwhelmingly it was the German pup tent that people wanted to see. Now, I've used it before, but hey, if you're new to the channel you might not have seen it. The problem is I checked the weather yesterday several times through the day and again last night. The downsides of living on the coast. We've got a bit of a storm front coming in, and Saturday night the wind's going to get up quite rough, and also they're talking about sort of heavy rain from about 1-2 in the morning onwards right through into Sunday. So two things put me off there. One, although the canvas shelter is waterproof, it takes forever to dry when it's got wet. But mainly the woodland that we use here, it's unmanaged. There is a lot of deadfall, a lot of dead standing trees. It's not a good place when it's stormy. If I was with someone else, maybe I'd risk it. But to do a solo in here, stormy weather, probably a mile to the nearest house, no footpaths, so you're not going to have any people passing. If you got into trouble, you'd be really in trouble. So I've decided to pop out early this morning. Sun's only just come up. Set the gear up, do a bit of filming, so people that haven't seen it get to see the German pup tent. But it'll be just a day camp type one. Sorry to disappoint. Well, this is what the plan was. German pup tent, back half set up as per normal, front half flying on the supplied poles. These poles do come with it. Front half up sort of baker style. It's a really good shelter, and now I've put it up again, I'm sort of wishing, damn, maybe I should have risked it, but it's not ideal for stormy weather, as you can imagine. Get the wind under here, it's just gone. So yeah, lovely setup, and I will be doing it when we have some nice weather. The advantage of the canvas, of course, is if it's chilly, you can have your fire quite close, because you can get the odd ember or whatever hit it, and it doesn't do that much damage, unlike you know, modern plasticky sort of tarps. Which leads me on to something else I've got to try out, a little fire pit. I'll come back to that in a minute. I'll give you a quick look round this, what I've done, why I've done it. As you can see, back half staked out as per normal. I've ridge lined through the middle, so I can use the poles at the front. If you look, there is a dip in the top there, which of course would be no good at all if it was raining, but I've only just popped it up quick. I can't change the height of the poles, not without sacrificing, you know, a fair bit of inside space. So if I was to stay here, I would lower this ridge line 5 or 6 inches, just to get it lower than the front, so you get proper runoff towards the back here. That's also why it's buttoned, but the top one is buttoned over this way, so the water's running off rather than in, which is always a good thing. But it's a really good shelter. I really like these. They're excellent, and they're not that expensive. I can't remember how much I saw them last for, but it was something like 25 quid for the pair, and you get the poles, you get the stakes that they supply, which are massive, absolutely massive. They're like boat anchors. They're too big and too heavy, so just swap out for ordinary ones. the little pegs. You've got everything you need, and it comes nicely packed. There's a little pouch that the poles take part and go into separately. Fold it all up, and it goes in the sort of stuff sack that it's held in is actually the hood if you used to wear it as a poncho. Very interesting sort of concept. I can only think that they probably went away from it because of the weight of the canvas. If they did exactly the same thing in modern materials, it'd be a good thing. In fact, I think one of my subscribers told me that, I believe it was the Austrian army, has this same thing, but in like the modern tarp or poncho material. Just not in this camo, in the plain green. But that might be something to look into in the future. Right, back to the Firepit, the cheapo Firepit. Now, these have been out quite a long time, and a lot of people would have seen them. They're the ones where you've just got like a cross set of aluminium legs underneath and the metal mesh on the top to have your fire up off the floor, which is a great thing if you're going to do the whole leave no trace. They've been out a long time, and there's probably many companies ripping them off, or maybe just the one factory making them and just labelling them for different companies, and of course they then mark it up. So I thought, out of interest, I'd go onto eBay, see how cheap I could get one. Now, I don't know how much they were when they first come out. I saw plenty around sort of like the £20 mark, some 15. And with a bit of scrolling, I found one for a £5, brand new. So I thought, well, let's see what we get if we go for the cheapest one. And yes, it looks the same. It might even be the same, I don't know. But I was quite surprised when I unpacked it. Let's open it up and show you. Right, decent strong little bag when I got it out of the packet. It comes in a box as well. I thought, oh, this is looking optimistic. Hey, if all else fails, it's a handy little pouch to use. Here's all its funny little legs. Oh, it's all wedged in there, let me shake them out. This part of it, I have no issue with. It all works. That's fine. The mesh, I haven't used it yet. I'm gonna have a fire in a minute and we'll find out. But the mesh seems strong enough. We'll find out. The little clips where it clips into the top of the poles to hold it out, they seem okay. In the corner, you've got little metal rivets that these pass through. Well, one of mine was missing as soon as I opened the box. I tipped it out and the rivet fell out separate. So quite how long that'll last, I don't know. And where they've folded this edge over, the edges there are really sharp. In fact, it's got little sort of metal burrs all over it. You can, you know, hook your skin against it. So before I put this together, or at least before I put this bit on, I'm actually going to put my gloves on, because I had to sit there with the tweezers pulling little lumps of metal at me fingers when I first tried putting it together. Not ideal. Are they all like that? I don't know. Is it just because this is a ultra cheap rip-off one? Probably, to be fair. But for a £5, what do you expect? I can overlook that if it works in concept. So I'll put it together. We'll light a fire in it and see if it stays in one piece. Well, it seems to be able to take some weight. I don't want to put too much on there because I'm only out for a short while. I don't want a massive fire. I've used a fire log to get it going. God, smoke. Because everything's so damp, it was just like the quickest and easiest way. So I've just lit a fire log at the bottom and put 2 normal ones on top just to see how we go. it's going well actually. I think it's probably because it's off the floor and the mesh, you've got airflow. So it's, yeah, it's picked up quite nicely. Once that's settled a little bit, I'm going to stick my pot on there as well, boil up some water, let's have a brew. I've just had a message from my mate Mark. He only lives 10 minutes, 15 at the outside maybe, over that direction, due south of here. He's going to pop over and say hello. So I better put a bit more water in the pot, because he's bound to want a brew. Well, the sun's coming up. It's the calm before the storm. It's always like this. And it's how it can catch you out so easily. I mean, at the moment it's a beautiful morning. A bit on the chilly side. It's only about 3-4 degrees. Beautiful sunshine. Pretty near clear skies, blue skies. But, you know, in the space of 12 hours, it's going to be bloody awful. Shame really. Never mind. At least I'm out early and enjoying this bit. Well, it's been burning for about an hour. No problem so far. I think it's going to be alright. Yes, it's cheap and yes, it's poorly finished, but it's doing the job. I cannot complain for £5. Right, a successful test of the little fire pit. It did okay. I've had a quick check over and it's all fine after the fire in it. Burning for about 2 hours, no problem at all. I think I'm packing up just in time. It's clouded up and I don't know if you can hear on the video, the wind's starting to pick up as well. So yes, not what I had planned, but hey, got out, that's the main thing. Said hello to Marky. If I turn around this way, there's Mr. Mark.
He's in my garden again.
Yeah, I'm in his garden, in his back garden. He come down, we had a coffee and a natter.
I felt a disturbance in the force.
Yeah, we made a few plans for future camps and also setups to try. So yeah,
I'm excited about that.
We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you soon.